Park Pirates come in hitting .229 on the year in kill efficiency. And talk about defense, they're giving up kill efficiency 0.87. That's the lowest I've seen as I've been doing prep for this tournament. So a very solid defensive team that Providence will have to deal with today. Just under 2 aces per set, 19 digs per set, and over 2 blocks per set round out the team stats for Park. And for Providence, come in hitting 187, giving up 120, just over 1.5 aces per set, 20 digs, and 2 blocks. It'll be Park right in front of us on your cameras in the maroon jerseys with the yellow letters. And across the way, it'll be the Lady Argos from Providence. Just a couple of years removed from a name change, as they were the University of Great Falls for many, many years. And just recently went with the name of Providence. So Park in the near court and Providence in the far court. Let's play some volleyball at the National Championship NAIA volleyball tournament level. High-intensity volleyball had some great matches yesterday, as several matches on the first day of pool play went the 5-set route. And even Park had a game taken off them yesterday by the host school, Morningside. And Morningside always draws a big crowd, so that sure contributed. But, boy, when Park gets their act together, they are really, really hard to beat. And that explains their 29-3 mark this year. And keep in mind, that's a school that is in the same conference as teams like Missouri Baptist and Columbia. The Argonauts on the year, 24 wins against 7 losses. Serving first will be Amanda Mendez for the Pirates, and we are set to go on the whistle here at Sioux City. And Mendez will set up on the right corner and shoot it cross court back to Legros. That set is going to have to be pushed over to the front row. Meawad's on it, out to the other Meawad, Nada, and she gets the kill to open the game. A shoot set to the outside, and Nada Meawad cashes it in. She's averaging 4.5 kills per set, hitting .277 on the year. And the first point of the game goes to the Park Pirates. A little bit to the left on that serve, and a net violation on Park will tie it up at 1. So an error. And back to serve goes Kelsey Shaver. You'll get to see her at the service rotation first before she slides around to the front row and starts to try to do some damage there on the attack. Flops it off the net. Nice save by Loro on the front row. Out to Nada Meawad. She is dug out in the far corner by Legres. In the front row, that's the attack by Avery Dyer. And that's a miss. And it's 2-1. And the defensive player 14 times in the American Midwest Conference, Celina Monteiro, serves an ace. Players have a little confusion on the backside of the Providence defense, and nobody took charge of that one. It's 3-1 Park. And Monteiro back to serve. Monteiro loads it up, goes to the opposite corner. Nice save over there for Avery Dyer, and another miss for Providence. It's 4-1. Pretty good set for Providence, just couldn't dial it in inside the sideline. And Monteiro back to serve again for the Pirates. Floats it over, picked up by Legros to the outside to Dyer. That's off the block and down. And the first time the attack from Providence has produced a point in the first set. It's 4-2, side out. And back to serve goes Sasha Legros. Legros will set up with her back to the banner. Kind of a meager crowd here this morning. More media, I think, than people that are watching this. Flint has the cover on the serve. Noura Meawad gets it over and covered by Providence. Tipped over, and a pancake keeps it alive. Legros to the front row. Finberg Roberts knocked back by the block. To the opposite direction. That's popped in the air by Monteiro. Perfect pass to the center. Cross-court swing for Meawad. Hits the back corner. And the Pirates score again from the Meawad sisters. twin sisters from Cairo, Egypt, Nada and Noura. And they are both 6-foot juniors. Back to serve, Noura Meawad takes it to the back line. Shaver with an on-target pass. Back row attack for Dyer is down. And Avery Dyer goes a little bit cross the grain, and Noura Meawad can't get there. 5-3, Park in the first set. And back to serve, Ember Schwendt. The set to the outside. Roper gets covered by Park. That's through the block and down. Big swing on the outside for Providence. And count it for Avery Dyer. Providence back to serve. It's 5-4. Popped up in the air by Flint. Covered. Noura Meawad with a line shot. Hooked it on top of that. And side out for the Pirates. Got a little inside spin on that one and made it happen. It's 6-4 Park. Number 4 back to serve. Noura Meawad. She'll set up on the left-hand corner. Shoot it to the back line. Shaver on target to Finberg Roberts. Back row attack for Shaver. Bounce at the net. That finds its way to the floor in front of Noura Meawad. Side out Providence. Good swing there from the back row for Kelsey Shaver. And Providence will go back to serve. Avery Dyer takes it back to Monteiro. Tip over the top for Roper. Covered by Park, and another net violation on Park, and that'll bring a 6-6 tie in the first set. And back to serve again goes Jensen Turner. That's covered to the outside, off the top of the block for Flint, and that finds the floor. And Park retakes the 7-6 lead. Second day of pool play action here in Sioux City. Kasha Peniak back to serve for the Pirates. Peniak from the left half takes it back to Kelsey Shaver. The back set and a miss for Providence. Not even close on that one from Ember Schwendt. And Park pulls out by 2. Ember Schwendt shooting for the coach, Mike Telemontes, and Mike's fine with that if you want to aim at him all day. Shaver on target to Finberg Roberts, back to Shaver, and she misses by a foot. A little bit of an inside spin, and it missed the sideline. And the lead is 3 after Providence had tied it up at 6. Peniak back to serve again for the Pirates. Just over the net. Shaver on target to Finberg Roberts. The set to the backside. Ember Schwendt dribbles it through the block for the kill. And that gets the side out for Providence. Heavy knee brace for Eichenlaub. She puts it in play. The set through the block, covered in the backside with a nice move by Eichenlaub. All the way back to the Park Pirates. To the outside, Alissa Flint gets it through the block and down. A tip kill for Alissa Flint. 10-7 now. Park up by 3. 3 kills already for Meawad. Noura Meawad. Back to serve, Margherita Marconi. Marconi sends it to the middle back, covered. Finberg Roberts to Kelsey Shaver, covered by Meawad in the back row. And a miss out the back door gives Providence the side out. And the leading hitter for Providence so far is Dyer. Avery Dyer has started out with 3 kills. And that point goes to the Pirates on a violation. The tip on the front row by Finberg Roberts, set to the opposite direction to Noura Meawad, off the block and down. Boy, there is some power coming off those swings from the Meawad sisters, and Arunas Duda calls the timeout. It's a 5-point lead for the Pirates, and we're back in a moment. So what do you do when you're a fan of the Park Pirates? You wear a pirate hat. And we got a couple of those hats right in front of us, rooting on the Park Pirates this morning. 12-7. And out of the timeout, the setter, Margherita Marconi, will be bringing the serve to Providence. Providence is finished with their talk with Arunas Duda. He gets his money's worth in the timeouts. None of these 10 seconds and out kind of things for him. Marconi back to serve from the right corner. Takes it cross court. Swept into the air. The set outside to Shaver. Nothing on it. Loops it for the corner. Covered with a run by Monteiro. The set to the front row to Noura Meawad. Covered. Outside swing. Covered by Park. To the middle. A smash, and Legros is there. A back row attack for Avery Dyer. Covered by Meawad. Over the top of the block, Legros gets there. Another save on a put down on the front row. Shaver pushes it over. Here's the attack for the Pirates. Back row attack. That dangles on the net. Still saved by Providence. What a rally on defense for Providence. To the outside. Flint gets dug out. Here's Shaver, and she finishes that long rally with a payoff, and that's got to be a heartening experience for Providence as they battled, had some incredible defensive plays, and came up with the finisher. It's 12-8. And Finberg Roberts goes back to serve. She sets up in the middle of the floor, takes it back to Meawad. And a big save running to the bench. That'll be a point for Providence. 2 in a row out of the timeout. 12-9. That chased Alissa Flint to the sideline, and she didn't get to that in time to one-arm it back to her team. Finberg Roberts back to serve. And she'll flop one off the net for the ace. So the net is kind to the servers this afternoon, as that ace for Finberg Roberts hangs on the net and drops down in front of the Pirates. That's how to take the ammo out of their big weapons on the front line. Finberg Roberts shoots it back to Noura Meawad. To the middle to Luro, covered by Providence. Backside, Shaver gets bounced in the air. A diving save for Marconi. Flipped over, one-arm stab for Legros, keeps it alive. And the push over by Monteiro. Here comes the attack for Providence. Pushed across the front of the net. Swept into the air by Flint. Back row attack for Noura Meawad. Swept over on the front row for Kelsey Shaver. Here's Noura Meawad again, and Legros is there to cover it. A smash. Monteiro handles it to the opposite way to Noura Meawad, and the stuff block for Providence. How about that response out of the timeout? 12-11. 3 straight points for Providence out of the timeout. And Finberg Roberts back to serve for the Lady Argos. Cross court. Noura Meawad has the play. That's a big swing from the outside for Park to get the side out. And count that one for Alissa Flint. And back to serve for the Pirates, Amanda Mendez, a 5'10 junior. It's 13-11. Providence made a charge out of the timeout, and now a side out and an error on the serve by Mendez, and it's a 1-point game. And into the game will come Alissa Flint after a very short time on the bench. And back to serve, Kelsey Shaver as she moves off the front line. Monteiro with the pass to the middle and a miss. And a net violation. That point goes to Providence, and we have a tie. 13-13. It was 12-8 when Arunas Duda called the timeout. Now it's 13-13 as Providence got the wake-up call in the timeout. Here's Shaver from the left corner. A floater to the backside to Flint. Here's Meawad, and the automatic is there. 4.5 kills per set. She smashes that one down for the 1-point lead. Noura Meawad. Back to serve. Celina Monteiro takes it back to Shaver. Perfect pass to Finberg Roberts. Out to Dyer. Dyer gets a shank out of Flint. Back to Meawad. Meawad covered that time by Shaver. To the opposite direction. Punched up in the air by the Pirates. And another violation on Park. A double is called on the pass. A lot of errors for Park in the first set have contributed to a 14-14 tie, and then the Providence defense has gotten airtight. Sasha Legros back to serve for the Lady Argos. Herm Ellenboss in Sioux City on the NAIA television network. Here's Legros from the left corner. She'll take it cross court to Flint. Backside to Noura Meawad. Front side to Dyer. Flint is there with the on-target pass. This time Park tries the middle, and Roper is dug out. Cross-court swing by Providence, covered. Back to Noura Meawad, and that's Providence point. That's out the back door. And Providence has the 15-14 lead, and Mike Telemontes wants to talk it over. So after the timeout, for Arunas Duda, a 12-8 score in favor of Park has turned into a 15-14 Providence lead. And we're back in a moment. Out of the timeout, 15-14 Providence. And Sasha Legros will try to keep pushing points here and get a little bit of margin against this great Park team. Legros from the back corner. Providence played very well yesterday, just didn't win. One of those cases, and there's the tie from Noura Meawad. She's got a cannon up there. And Providence will try to avoid being the target of that cannon by getting a block on it, we hope, if you're rooting for the Great Falls School. To the middle to Dyer for the equalizer and the lead, a 16-15 lead for Providence on a beautiful set from the middle. And Finberg Roberts goes back to serve for the Lady Argos. Deep to Alissa Flint. Marconi sets up the middle. Roper. Cross-court swing. Diving save for Noura Meawad. Here's a free ball by Monteiro. Easy cover for the Argonauts. To the outside. And Dyer gets it down off the block. Dyer, too much power, and the largest lead of the first set for the Lady Argos on that power kill off the top of the block. A high hand special from Avery Dyer. 17-15 Providence. Finberg Roberts back to serve again. And that drifts off the net. Nice save for Meawad. Cross-court swing by Roper, covered. Monteiro, Marconi, back out to Meawad, off the block. Shaver has the dig. Back to Dyer. Dyer behind the block for the kill. It's a 3-point lead for Providence. And Providence getting into a nice groove here against a very staunch foe. And another timeout for Mike Telemontes. It's 18-15 Providence. Noura Meawad has added to her total. She's already reached her per set average on the season, as she has 5 kills already in the first set. But Providence has erupted from that first timeout, and they have not looked back. They tied it up, and now have pushed it out to the 3-point lead, 18-15 in the first set. And this has been a pretty good rotation for Providence throughout the year when Finberg Roberts is serving. Excellent setter, and she also, when she's back there, there's a good rotation on the front row. Noura Meawad has the on-target pass. Roper gets the side out. And Maren Roper gets the kill. And that'll move Noura Meawad off the front line and back to serve from the left corner. She'll come out of your screen right on the left corner. Back to Shaver. Finberg Roberts, the back set. And that's through the block and down. 2 blockers waiting from the Pirates, but Providence gets the kill. 19-16. Maren Roper leaked that one out along with Alissa Flint, and that found the floor. Dyer back to serve. And another big swing, but covered by Providence. The defense airtight into the corner, and a miss for Shaver. Shaver shot that one a little bit long. Side out Park. 19-17. Crunch time here for both teams as they've been dueling through the first set. And in the game to serve for the Pirates comes Amanda Mendez. Or Penioc, rather. Penioc will go back to serve. And she'll send it cross court to Kelsey Shaver. The little flip over the net for Finberg Roberts. Diagnosed by the Pirates. Finberg Roberts out to Shaver. She goes to the tip. That's going to dribble its way to the floor as a mishandle for the Pirates. And Providence leads 20-17. And back to serve goes Jess Eichenlaub for the Pirates, or for the Lady Argos. She will set up right in the middle of the floor and launch it deep. Noura Meawad has the pass. Push back on the block, and that's never made it over the tape. And it's 21-17. Block was there, but the tape got in the way before the block got the touch. Eichenlaub back to serve again. Providence closing in on a first set win unless Park turns it around. Eichenlaub takes it back to Monteiro. Marconi to the outside to Flint. Flint gets dug out. Finberg Roberts on the run. Avery Dyer pops it off the top of the block. Back row attack for Noura Meawad. Diving save, but it goes out of bounds. Avery Dyer got a pretty good jump on that drop ball, but couldn't steer it back to the court. 21-18. And Lorrayne Silva, a 6-foot senior, will come in. She'll play the backside on the offense. It's a 3-point lead for Providence. And Marconi puts it in play. Steered over to the left side of the floor. Back row attack for Dyer, covered by the Pirates. And right there, just in the game, and a kill for Lorrayne Silva. She gets her first opportunity fresh off the bench, and she cashes it in. Watch out for that left hand. She put up a strong left hand there. The lead is down to 2. Back to serve, Margherita Marconi. Marconi takes it down the line. Swept into the air by Shaver. A bump set back to Kelsey. And Kelsey gets the block. Who gets the point? That was a out. So that's blocked out of bounds by the Pirates. Big play there. That was one of those hits the tape, hits the hand, and it goes Providence's way as it bounces off the Pirate hand out of bounds. 22-19. Providence 3 points away. Here's the serve. Montero to the middle. Luro has the pass, nothing on it. Shaver gets the load into the corner, and 23-19. Shaver finds the back corner for the kill. 2 points away for Providence to open up against the Pirates with a game win. Cross court. Little late break on that one by Flint. They take it up top. Covered on the little tap by Meawad. Into the corner. Swept into the air by Marconi. The attack for Providence, and Shaver jams it through the block and down. Paula Luro right there, but she could not close the block. 24-19, set point for Providence. And this will wake up some viewers and some fans in the stands if Providence wins this one in the first set. Montero, perfect pass to Marconi. Outside to Meawad. She is diagnosed to the front row, and a stuff block for the Pirates. Paula Luro over there, Noura Meawad over there. Want to greet our viewers in Cairo, Egypt, and elsewhere, watching their favorite daughters here today in Sioux City, Iowa. Have to Google Sioux City and see where that is if you live in Cairo. Kind of right in the middle of the U.S. of A. Another set point opportunity for Providence. Outside, through the block and down. Providence takes the first set, 25-20. And we will take a break and come back with set number 2. Providence has a little bit of momentum here going into the second set. Providence will be moving to the near court here, and on the far court, it'll be the Park Pirates. And the leading hitter so far for Park, no surprise there, Noura Meawad. And a couple of players with 6 for Providence, as Dyer and Shaver opened up in good season form that they showed all year. Providence up 1-0. And we see Renee Davis out there now, a 5'8" junior for Providence. And Providence will serve first. Sasha Legros will go back to serve. Legros from the right corner. And we'll see if that momentum for Providence carries forward to this second set. Popped up in the air by Monteiro. It's a chase and tipped over desperation style by the Pirates. Backside to Cameron Davis, and Park gets the first point on the miss by Cameron Davis. Cameron Davis had a really good match yesterday against Oklahoma City, and Providence looking for more today from her. Celina Monteiro back to serve for the Pirates. Swept into the air for Shaver. Shaver gets the load back. High bounce off the block. Chase in the corner. That's going nowhere, and Shaver's got it for the tie. The cover in the back corner sails wide, and Monteiro couldn't cover it. And we're tied up at 1 on the Shaver kill, and Shaver now with 7 kills. And back to serve, Sydney Finberg Roberts. A little bit of a shank. Park recovers. A diving save by Finberg Roberts. Out to Dyer. Dyer cross court. Monteiro is there. Here's the set outside to Noura Meawad for the second point for Park. That went right down the line. And Providence has those lines solved, but when you get that kind of velocity from Noura Meawad, it's kind of hard to stop even though you know it's coming. And Noura Meawad back to serve for the Pirates with a 2-1 lead. Legros perfect to Finberg Roberts to the outside. Jam through the block and down. And Providence answers with a kill from Jensen Turner. All tied up at 2. And somewhere down there to the left is a server. And that's Kelsey Shaver coming out of the barrier down there, off the top of the block for Roper, and it finds its way to the floor for the Pirates. A kill for Maren Roper. 3-2 in the second set. And back to serve goes Noura Meawad. Meawad left corner. Shaver has the pass on target to Finberg Roberts. Out to Jensen Turner, blocked back by the Pirates. Still going, covered by Noura Meawad. Outside set, that's long. And we're tied up at 3. A little bit too much steroids on that swing from the outside. 3-3. Pretty evenly matched teams so far, as you got the best of the Frontier Conference against the best of the American Midwest Conference going at it here, about halfway between the two places. And right in front of us, Jess Eichenlaw will launch the serve for the Lady Argos. Deep to Monteiro. Perfect pass up to Marconi to the outside, and that didn't get over the net. Alissa Flint with a hitting error, and Providence takes the lead. Eichenlaw will go back to serve again for the Lady Argos. Eichenlaw, stationary approach, back to Monteiro, steers it over to Marconi. Back row attack for Meawad, too fast for Shaver. She waved at it, but Meawad comes at you with a lot of velocity. And that ties it up at 4. And back to serve for the Pirates, Kasha Peniak. And Peniak will slide left of center and launch it. Cross court, Avery Dyer, perfect to Finberg Roberts. Dyer gets it back and gets the tip kill. Sailed a little bit wide, but the tip at the net made that a kill for Avery Dyer. And back to serve goes Jensen Turner. Turner sporting a huge knee brace on her left knee. Doesn't seem to affect her. Still has a lot of mobility. 5-4 and a timeout for the Pirates. Providence has the lead, and we're back in a moment. Took Park down in the first set. Now they're up by 1 in the very early stages of the second set. And our Pirate fans with the tri-corner hats in front of us starting to get into it with flags and banners and so on. 8 kills so far for Noura Meawad. And for the Argonauts, 7 each for Dyer and Shaver. And Jensen Turner has 3. So a solid attack so far for the Argonauts. Monteiro has the pass to Marconi. Back row attack for Noura Meawad. Perfect location. Precisely on the line, on the sideline. And a little bit of a lean for Dyer, and she had no chance to recover. Margherita Marconi back to serve for the Pirates to try to get the lead back for the Pirates. She'll launch the semi-high toss back to Shaver. Good passing for Providence. Out to Dyer, blocked back by the Pirates. Covered by Providence. Back to Dyer, into the corner, covered by Marconi. Here's the swing for Noura Meawad. It's covered, slide set. Amber Schwent gets dug out, but it's not going to be covered on the front row. And the lead goes back to Providence on the Ember Schwent swing. Say that 5 times fast. Ember Schwent swing. And back to serve Avery Dyer. So Providence comes back out of the timeout, gets the side out, tipped over the top by Meawad, and Providence can't get it over the net. And that's another tie at 6. Looked like it was a play that could have been made, but it didn't get made. And Amanda Mendez back to serve for the Pirates. Setting up on the far right corner. Pirates cross court. Shaver has the on-target pass. Tipped over on the front row. Long run in the back row for the Pirates. They get there. A blind free ball over to Providence to the outside. And that's on the floor for Providence. And they're back in the lead. Ember Schwent powers that to the floor. It's 7-6 Providence. And back to serve for the Argos, Sasha Legros. Legros will set up right in front of the barrier. Come out of the right side of your viewing screens. That's a ace for Providence, 2-point lead. Legros dials up the ace. Errant pass on the back row defense for the Pirates, 8-6. Legros back to work for the Lady Argos. And a substitute in the game as Lorrayne Silva comes in to take the place of Noura Meawad. Legros back to serve. See if that helps for Providence. They rocket it to the backside. Marconi has the pass. Flipped over by Flint. Easy cover for Providence. Over to Shaver. Shaver gets the floor. A little dribble off the block of Silva, and it found its way to the floor. And a 3-point lead for Providence. Look at the Providence Lady Argos celebrate as Mike Telemonte calls another timeout. 3 points and the lead for Providence over Park. We're back in a moment. 9 kills for Meawad so far, and 9 for Kelsey Shaver as the major hitters for each team doing their thing on Wednesday morning here in Sioux City. Nada Meawad leading the way for her team, and Kelsey Shaver for the Argonauts. 7 for Dyer, 3 for Schwent. And Jensen Turner also having a solid effort so far. 9-6 out of the timeout. Legros back to work. Sasha Legros will come out of your screen on the right side, launch it cross court. A little bit of a shank protection there by Nada Meawad, tipped over the block by Park. The set, kind of an errant one, but covered somehow by Cameron Davies. To the middle, Shaver tries the back line, nothing there this time. Front row, Nada Meawad delivers. And a side out for Park, 9-7. Boy, she is hard to stop. And she has proven it over and over again throughout the first part of this set. And Celina Monteiro back to serve. Dyer has the on-target pass to Shaver, cross court. Monteiro on the dig. This will set up the attack. Pushed over the top by Silva, covered by Providence. Back to Shaver for the cross court kill. Tight angle just outside the 10-foot line. 10-7, Lady Argos. Well, you shake off that first day of pool play when they had a chance to win that one against Oklahoma City, and the Lady Argos have come out firing on the second day. Morningside took a set off Pirates yesterday, swept into the air. The look is on the floor, and that'll go to Park. A stuffer at the net for Maren Roper. She's had 25 solo blocks during the regular season. And that will bring back Noura Meawad. And Noura will go back to serve from the right corner. 10-8. Park closing in. They're within 2. Noura, right corner. Back to Shaver. Diving save. Back row attack to Shaver. Another stuff from the middle of that line for Park. Maren Roper gets 2 in a row. And it's a 1-point game. Might be time to change your location on that inside slide set. Get it away from Roper. And back to serve, Noura Meawad. She gets the ace, and we're tied up. So out of the timeout, Park comes back fired up and ties it up with some good attack and especially coverage at the net, led by Maren Roper. Noura Meawad back to serve. A deep ball to Dyer. Perfect passing. And Cameron Davies, any touch there? Nope, it's just out. And the lead goes to Park. That was so far out, you kind of wondered if there was some kind of assist at the line, but it didn't happen. And Noura Meawad back to serve again. Cross court, Shaver with a reach. That's an ace for Meawad, and it might be time for Aruna Studa to call the timeout. There it is, 12-10, as Park has come back on fire out of the timeout and has taken the 2-point lead. We're back in a moment. We have having a lot of talent to spread around, and Noura Meawad back to serve again. And Providence needs a side out. Meawad takes it deep to Dyer. Chases Finberg Roberts. The attack to Shaver. Catches the net. Easy cover for Meawad. And Noura Meawad cleans it up. Well, that's almost an automatic to Noura Meawad. She's got 10 kills now through the first 2 sets. And we are early in the midway point of the second set. And Noura Meawad back to serve. Shaver steps in. The set to Jensen Turner. She blasts it, and Monteiro covers it. Back to work, outside Shaver. A blast back on the block again as Pirates are sewing up that block. Monteiro up to Marconi, to the middle. Block back this time by the Lady Argos. Outside, Noura Meawad dug out by Avery Dyer. Shaver gets the load. She is covered on the backside by Noura Meawad. And a block on the swing by Noura Meawad. Nada gets it back, swept into the air for Finberg Roberts. And Jensen Turner gets the finish. A rally that ends up with a Jensen Turner kill off the block and down for the Lady Argos, 13-11. And Kelsey Shaver will come out of your screen on the left side to serve it up. A side out for Providence, flips it off the net, a reach for Noura Meawad. She gets there, and bam to the floor for Maren Roper. Maren Roper got a transition set in the middle and found the hole. 14-11 Park. Noura Meawad back to serve. Deep off the left corner. And that flops off the net for the ace. Oh, the tape was kind there as that, instead of flipping back, crawled over the net with that overspin. And an ace for Noura Meawad to add to her kill totals. 15-11. Park trying to pull away in the second set. Noura Meawad back to work. Shaver out to Dyer. Dyer gets the kill. Park knocks it off the aerial, and that'll count for the Lady Argos. And Eichenlaub will come in to serve for Providence. Providence trying to slow down Park here in the second set. You don't want to give up the momentum, and you want to play each point for what it is. Jess Eichenlaub back to serve. And she puts it in play back to Monteiro, up to Marconi. Outside set. On the floor for Park. Alissa Flint gets back into the action on the attack. And that gives Park a 4-point lead. Kasha Penioc back to serve for the Pirates. Penioc from the left corner. Floats it back to Shaver. Perfect pass to Finberg Roberts. Out to Dyer. Dyer bounces it off the block. Pancaked into the air, and they call it down. So Dyer gets the kill, even though Park kept playing that in case they had a clean pancake. And Maren Roper back will give way to the libero Monteiro. 14 times this year, she was Defensive Player of the Week in the American Midwest Conference. Jensen Turner gets the ace. 2 in a row for Providence. They're within 2. The knee brace didn't slow down Jensen Turner there on that serve. 16-14. We've got a duel here on court number 3 in Sioux City. Jensen Turner back to serve again. Right down the line. Hooks it back in perfectly. The set to the middle, covered all the way back, and then flipped against the grain, and that hits the aerial. Point for Providence. A heads-up play on the net for Finberg Roberts and Ember Schwent, and Park gives up the point. It's a one-point game, 16-15. Here goes Jensen Turner. Park in the lead. Turner shoots for the hole, a diving save. Marconi tipped over the net, covered by Turner. Back row attack for Shaver. That's way out the back door. And back to a 2-point lead for the Pirates. And Renee Davis will come into the game to serve, or to play defense, for the Lady Argos. Margherita Marconi will go back to serve, the setter for the Pirates. 17-15. Here's Marconi. Good passing all day from the Lady Argos. No touch there. Looks like there was someone waving at it, but that's a miss. And it's up to a 3-point lead after Providence had drawn within one. And Providence tried to get home in the second set. Margherita Marconi back to serve. Shaver gets the call again on the pass. Tipped over by Schwent. That's on the floor. Heads up tip for Schwent. You know, you come to this tournament and you see a lot of teams you haven't seen before, but one thing I've noticed through the years is tips are not nearly as successful at this level of play, but that one found its way. Something about the speed and the quickness of the teams when you get to this level. Dyer sends it back to Monteiro. Power swing out the back door. 1-point game. 18-17. As Providence draws within one. And Dyer waits to try to get it tied up. And here comes Tina William for the first time in the game. And that will send Davis to the bench for a rest as Coach Duda changing things up here a little bit. Serve back to Monteiro. Tipped over the top by Luro to Shaver. She tries the corner. Monteiro pops it up. Swept into the air by Noura Meawad. Up to her sister, Noura Meawad. And the swing from the outside is on the floor. And we've got an 18-18 tie. And Meld Sykes in the game now from Libby, Montana. If my numbers are correct, she is a 6'3" freshman. So Coach Duda getting some height in there that we haven't seen so far in the tournament. So Mecky Sykes in the game now from Libby, Montana. Big moments for here. We're tied up in the second set. Providence and Park. That looks long. Played on the back line by Monteiro. Marconi runs it down. Cross court for Noura Meawad. The quick set. Nope, they call a lift on that one. And the lead goes back to the Pirates. A jump set for Finberg Roberts. And out of the game goes Sykes. So she got a cameo there. And that'll bring back Finberg Roberts. Kind of hard to read these Lady Argo numbers from the distance I'm at. That's why the courtside seats are always so nice. And an ace on the floor for Amanda Mendez. And the lead is 2. Coach Duda has some work to do as the Lady Argos are down by 2. Park trying to tie it up at one set apiece, and we're back in a moment. Right now, Park in control, up 20-18. Coach Duda has had his say, as has Mike Telemontes, and we'll see what happens out of the timeout here on court number 3 in Sioux City. I'm Herm Ellenboss. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on the NAIA network. Mendez back to serve. And she puts the super float on it. Legros handles it. Finberg Roberts to the outside, blocked back by Park and covered by Legros. To the middle, that's slammed down to the floor by Paula Luro. 6'2" senior middle. And the lead is 3. Heading for the finish line for the Pirates. Lady Argos need a stop. Mendez back to serve again. Mendez, a 5'10" junior. That is handled by Dyer. The slide set to Schwent. She can't get it over the net. And it's 22-18. Hitting error for Schwent. The champion of character winner on the Argos squad. And Amanda Mendez back to serve again for the Pirates. Cross court, Dyer on target to Finberg Roberts. Shaver gets the load. Cross court, Monteiro is right there. Noura Meawad dug out by Legros. Push at the net, duel at the net, still going. Swept to the sideline. Bump set, back row attack. Monteiro makes a diving save. To the front row to Noura Meawad. Feathers it off the block. A bump set for the little attack from Shaver that barely gets over the net, covered by the Pirates. Back to Noura Meawad. Stuff block for Providence. Character builder there for the Lady Argos as they shut down Noura Meawad on the outside, already with 11 kills in this one. Side out, Lady Argos. And Sasha Legros back to serve. Shoot tie time on the Park Pirates. Two players use the shoot timeout. To say that slowly, it's shoot tie timeout. And Sasha Legros back to serve. I wonder if they signal that or if it just happens. You know, you want to have a timeout. Telemontes was using a lot of them. Long run for Marconi. The set out to Noura Meawad. Blocked back by Providence, but covered by Monteiro. Noura Meawad back to work. Finberg Roberts loads up the outside. Shaver. High bounce off the block. Covered to the backside by Marconi. A bump set to Noura Meawad. She gets covered. Back out to Shaver. Shaver twisted off the block, and on the back line, a perfect play by the defense. Noura Meawad. Nothing on that one. The quick set to the middle. It's on the floor. And Cameron Davis puts it on the floor, and Providence fighting back. It's 22-20. Two straight for Providence. And that will bring in Lorrayne Silva for the Pirates. Providence is up 1-0. Sasha Legros back to serve. Very interesting matchup here between the American Midwest Conference and the Frontier Conference. A bouncer off the block for Luro. Shaver with a bump set to Dyer. Dyer to the back line. A little touch at the net, slows it down. Covered by the Pirates. And through the block and down for the Pirates. And they're getting close to home, 23-20 in the second set. Block was set up perfectly, just too much juice on that swing. And down it goes. Providence slowing down Noura Meawad a little bit. Not sure how long that'll last. Dyer, Finberg Roberts, Shaver, and that's through the block and down for Providence. Shaver gets her 11th kill. And into the front row comes Jensen Turner. Providence has the serve. They're down by 2. Haven't had an extra number set yet. Finberg Roberts puts it in play to the middle. Legros has the dig. Finberg Roberts out to Shaver. Shaver bounce off the block, covered by Monteiro. That block ruined everything. Noura Meawad gets it. This one has to be over for Shaver. She steers it on the line, played by Noura Meawad. Back to Noura Meawad. And a one-arm stab attempt doesn't work for Dyer. And set point coming up for the Park Pirates. Noura Meawad makes it happen. Pretty good positioning there for the Lady Argos, but didn't get it done. Noura Meawad will try to finish it up here. The attack. Stuff block for Park, and we are squared away at 1 set apiece as 25-21 Park in the second set. We are back in a couple of minutes. Well, hitting percentage is .202 so far for Providence, 200 for Park. Neither one at their season best, but still playing well enough to make it a very interesting matchup here on court number 3. And Noura Meawad doing what she does and has done all year. She has pounded it for 12 kills. She's hitting .313. Kelsey Shaver hitting .176. with 11 kills and 9 kills for Avery Dyer, and Jensen Turner with 4. As we move to a pivotal set here, set number 3, we're all tied up here in Sioux City. And the Pirates will serve first. Mulaney Hensley will go back to serve from Kansas City, Missouri. Hensley, middle of the floor, back to Sasha Legros. Finberg Roberts, they run a play and it works. Kelsey Shaver did a cross with Tina William, and it goes down to the floor at the hand of Kelsey Shaver. And we are at 1-1 in sets, 1-0 in the third quarter score. Kelsey Shaver back to serve. She'll set up about 4 steps off the back left, float it over to Alissa Flint, to the outside to Noura Meawad. Got to be a cover there. 2 players got confused about whose ball it was, and neither one of them got it. Jensen Turner and Kelsey Shaver gave chase, but neither one of them decided to be the leader on it, so it hits the floor. And Noura Meawad says, "Thank you very much." Monteiro back to serve for the Pirates. Back to Shaver, Shankopotamus, and Monteiro celebrates right in front of us with the ace and the 2-1 lead. Got to stay with the Pirates. If they get their wheels under them, it's no tomorrow here for Providence, as they have been battling so far. Shaver, perfect pass to Finberg Roberts, the quick, and it's going to be covered off the hand of Tina William. Middle, behind the block, and down, heads-up play for Maren Roper. She saw the double block right in front of her, and it's the luxury those middles have to go behind the block when the block gets loaded up and it hits the floor for the 3-1 lead. And Celina Monteiro back to serve. Shaver gets the serve again. A bump set by Finberg Roberts. Shaver bounces it off the net. Monteiro with a dig. Back to Roper. Roper this time dug out. Legros with a bump set to Dyer. And Dyer gets stuffed. 4-1. And the Pirates have picked up their play a notch. It's what good teams do. They get challenged and they kind of reach down, find that inner reserve and that inner talent level that maybe they haven't exhibited yet today. Monteiro takes it to the back line for Shaver. The quick to Tina William. Monteiro made a beautiful slide into the hole, and a bouncer off the net ends up covered, and that's a hitting error on the front row for Dyer. Aruna Studa can't be too far away from a timeout here as this third set has opened up the wrong way for the Lady Argos. Ember Schwent will come in for the Lady Argos, and Monteiro back to work at serve for the Pirates. Right back to Shaver. They are picking on her on the serve. Jensen Turner gets the side out. She knocked over Monteiro with her power that time. Well, you got to get into patterns as a hitter, and you go cross all the time. Well, you come back with that line shot that really feels good. Monteiro took a roll at the end of that blast. 5-2, Sasha Legros back to serve for the Argos. Flint has the pass to Monteiro. Bump set out to Noura Meawad. Off the block and down. Noura Meawad gets the power kill down the net and out the sideline. 6-2. And Noura Meawad now with 13 kills. Amanda Mendez back to serve for the Pirates. Mendez cross court. Legros up to Finberg Roberts. Back row attack. Covered on the swing by Jensen. That's floated back to Shaver. To the outside. Covered by Monteiro. Marconi goes to the middle. Roper gets covered temporarily. This one will be behind the aerial as Dyer missed it with her back to the net. 7-2. Park establishing itself in this third set, and Providence needs a break. And they are going to get a little bit of towel cleanup there as somebody spotted something on the floor, and some cleanup duty. 10-2. Interesting match on court number 3. It was Providence in the first set by 5, and then really close in the second set before Park took over late in that one, and a service error gives the side out to Providence, and Jensen Turner back to serve for the Lady Argos. 7-3. We are in the third set. A line shot. Noura Meawad gets it. Noura Meawad gets it back. That's out. She drifted a little bit on her approach. Instead of attacking it straight on, she went a little bit sideways. And that's a rare thing there for her, as it didn't go down. She had a hitting error. 7-4. Providence within 3. Jensen Turner, almost an ace. Slide set to Roper. Tip behind the block. Would have been out. Covered by Legros to Dyer for the kill. And that finds the floor. And that's not Dyer. That is one of the other players that I can hardly see from up here. But it's on the floor for the Lady Argos, 7-5. Jensen Turner, Marconi out to Noura Meawad. She goes for the tip, covered with a run. Another tip from the Argos, and a third tip. 3 tips in a row, and Marconi wins the tip battle. Finally finds a little room in the donut hole, and it goes down for the Park Pirates. And in the game, Renee Davis for the Lady Argos. This will be Noura Meawad back to serve. She will come out of the screen on your left side and launch right below that little black thing next to the park scoreboard. Discussion, slowing things down here. Providence has drawn to within 3, but now Park threatening to pull away again. The rotation or substitution check here as Coach Duda doesn't want to get caught with an illegal rotation. So they go to the scorebook and see who's supposed to be where. Well, you don't see many of those rotation errors either in Sioux City. Another thing you don't see very often in Sioux City is that double call. I don't know how it is in the other conferences around the United States, but we get a lot of double calls out in the Frontier Conference, at least at certain schools. So it's kind of good to see how games go without some of those setting errors that you see. Just a difference, I think, in officiating and what they're looking for. And not saying that the double calls are not the right ones in the games I see, but it just seems to be a lot of setting mistakes. Still waiting for where we're supposed to be if you're an Argonaut. Coach Duda, interested observer there, adding his input on the sideline. Right in front of the Baumgars sign. Boy, they get a lot of great sponsorship here in Sioux City for this tournament. Every year I'm impressed with just how well the local community supports it. Not always with attendance, but at least in the sponsorship side of things. We do a pretty huge tournament in Billings the last couple of years for the NAIA Women's Basketball Division I, and I'm part of the committee that works on that, or at least I'm familiar with that committee, and that's not an easy thing to go out and find all those sponsors, but they seem to have it down here in Sioux City. And we seem to be having trouble with our web stats again. A long pause here, and now we're going to go back to work. And Noura Meawad will move back to the left corner. Can you imagine playing against the Meawad team in Cairo, Egypt? And you get twin sisters that are really effective at the NAIA level, and I imagine in their high school, or whatever they call it back there, they were pretty well unbeatable. Here's Meawad. Meawad shoots for the donut hole. Long run there for the defense. They get it done. Knocked around, still going, kept alive. Here's the back row attack for Shaver. Swept into the air for Monteiro. Back row attack for Meawad. Legros read it perfectly, makes the play. Cross court swing, it's on the line for the Argos. That was a beautiful swing there by Ember Schwent. Let's give it to Addison Burns, a 5'8" freshman. 8-6. Providence trying to close the gap here. And Mike Telemontes wants to talk it over. Well, you got a 2-point lead, and you still call the timeout. Park 8, Providence 6. We're tied up at 1 set apiece, and we're back in a moment. Coach Telemontes uses a different style of calling timeouts than I'm used to seeing. And it seems to be working for him as he kind of reads his team really well and calls the timeout at times that are not usually the no-brainer timeouts. And a service error for Providence makes it a 3-point game, 9-6. Park leads by 3, first third of the third set. And Kasha Penyok back to serve. Penyok from the left corner, feathers it off the net. Shaver has the pass, slide set to the outside, off the block and down. Little twister that Kasha Penyok couldn't catch up to. And a side out for Providence after the Mike Telemontes timeout. And new player in the front row for Providence. Tina William, 5'11" senior, and a kill from the outside for Paula Luro. Back to a 3-point lead. Marconi moving her sets around. And Marconi will go back to serve for the Pirates. 10-7, Park. Marconi floats it back. Finberg Roberts sets up Tina William. William is covered. Park to the outside, blocked out of bounds by William, and a 4-point lead for Park. Right off the hands of Tina William, and it drifted outside the lines. Park trying to pull away again. Here's Marconi. And just out the back door. Wow, was that close. You saw the little matrix move there in the back corner by the Argos, and that almost sank right on the back line, but it was about a foot out. So gutsy move there, but it gets the side out. Flint has the pass. The block is not successful for Providence, and back to a 4-point lead. Silva scores that one. And in the game will come Natalia Malaveco. She takes it out the back door for the service error. Side out Providence. That's Milena Hensley. My apologies. As we didn't get that one right. Kelsey Shaver back to serve. And right now, these two teams idling through the middle third of this third set. Shaver tries the short one. Monteiro is there, pushed over by Noura Meawad, covered by Providence. Back to the attack. And Noura Meawad feathers it off the top of the block. Covered on the back row, out to Dyer. Dyer can't get anything down on that. Dinked around by the Park, and the point goes to Providence. It's 12-10. A lot of players got a hand on it. Nobody thought about where the net was for the Pirates that time. Shaver will try to draw the Lady Argos within one, and more cleanup duty on the floor for the Pirates. Get those hard-working players out there making contact with the floor, and it seems like volleyball players do it almost every time there's a rally, maybe several times, and a little bit of cleanup duty required. Shaver back to Monteiro, another perfect pass from Monteiro to the middle of the floor. Luro gets dug out on the back line, a bump set all the way back to Park. Marconi to the backside, off the block, and down again for Silva. And she has taken over the attack for her team. And the lead is back to 3. Celina Monteiro will go back to serve for the Pirates. Herm Ellenboss in Sioux City bringing you the call of Providence and Park, last year's champion here in Sioux City. Finberg Roberts sets that behind her hitter, still steered into play. Noura Meawad right down the line, handled all the way back to Park. Here's the attack to Dyer. Dyer pushes it over. Look for a middle set this time, and it's on the floor. Two hitters were primed and ready for Marconi. She chose Maren Roper and gets the kill. And it's a 4-point lead. On Monteiro back to serve. Drops it in halfway up the court. Tina William, the kick save doesn't work for Marconi. I remember seeing her last year do that a couple of times. And that time, Tina William puts it down for the side out, back to a 3-point game. Sasha Legros back to serve for the Argos. Deep in the left corner. A launch, back to Flint. Chases her setter. Monteiro steps in. Noura Meawad bounces it off the block and down. Jensen Turner loses it off the block. 15-11. And Meawad has to be up to about 16 or 17 kills. I launched my stat program, so I can't be too accurate with that. Try to get it back here. When we move to the next set, Amanda Mendez serves it. Legros with the play. Shaver with a back row attack. Flint with the cover. Out to Noura Meawad again. That's off the block and down. She is going right through the block. Schwent was there that time with a solid block and could not slow that down off the hand of Noura Meawad. Amanda Mendez will serve after this timeout. It's 16-11. Park trying to pull away and establish itself in the third set. And we're back in a moment. Numbers. She's got 16 kills now to go along with 7 digs. Kelsey Shaver with 12 to go along with 11 digs. But for Providence, a crucial time in this third set as Park is trying to pull away for the victory. They're up by 5. And Coach Duda will have to reach into his bag of tricks here to turn this one around. He had a great timeout yesterday as Providence not playing well at all against Oklahoma City in the early going, and then he called a timeout, and they came back and tied it up, and they ended up forcing Oklahoma City to 5 sets, playing some pretty good volleyball. Amanda Mendez loads up the serve, takes it deep to Legros. Perfect pass to Finberg Roberts. To the middle, stuff block for Park. Jensen Turner gets shut down out of the timeout, a stuffer for Park. And what an impact player Maren Roper has been, a 6-foot middle blocker. 25 solo blocks on the year for her team. Mendez back to serve again. Providence needs some breaks. Shaver chases Finberg Roberts. She gets the back row attack back. Takes it back to Mendez. Mendez has to scramble. Flips it over to Providence. The quick set to the middle. Covered. Second load to Providence, gets off the block, out to Noura Meawad. She goes to the short stuff, diving save for Providence. Kelsey Shaver with a back row attack, picked up by Mendez. And Silva gets it done temporarily, but how about that play for Providence from Jensen Turner? And no one's going to get that one as Park celebrates that one. That was an incredible play for Turner, running perpendicular to the court, making a play to keep it alive off the Noura Meawad swing. But Park is pulling away. 18-11, up by 7 in the third set. And we're back in a moment. Back on court number 3. Park breaks the timeout first, and Mendez poised and ready to continue to inflict pain on the Lady Argos. And we'll see what Coach Duda has drawn up for his team. It's 18-11. We're tied up at 1 set apiece. Mendez loads it, cross court. Legros, perfect pass. Out to the outside, blocked out of bounds, and Providence gets the side out finally. Boy, that was a long wait for side outs. And Park may have built a lead that Providence is unable to come back from. From the backside, Turner with a service error. 19-12. And into the game for Providence will come a number 15 Cassie Thompson from Gresham, Oregon. Noura Meawad sends it to 2 people. A ball comes out of there somehow. And the Gresham, Oregon gal gets a play right off the bat. Flint, big swing, tip behind the block on the front row, covered by Park, and a double is called on that. Just talked about doubles, and now we see one. We're talking about how rare they are. 19-13. And Addison Burns back to serve. She'll take it back to Silva. The swing on the front row, covered, and to the floor on the Providence side of the net. After Alissa Flint started that with a smash, got it right back and put it right back to the floor. 7-point lead for Park, and they're closing in on a 2-1 lead. Tasha Peniock back to serve for the Pirates. Peniock goes cross court. Shaver has the pass. The set to the backside. That's a 4, I believe. Yep, it didn't get over the tape. 21-13. And that will bring on a substitution as Cameron Davis comes in for the Lady Argos. Peniock back to serve. Peniock sends it back to Dyer. Chases Finberg Roberts. The set back to Dyer. Off the block. Noura Meawad has it. Out to Flint. Flint dug out by Dyer in the backside. Dyer gets another back row attack. She's covered by Mendez. Here's Noura Meawad for a back row attack. Covered by Sasha Legros. To Shaver, and she misses. They give a tip, so there was a tip there, and that counts for Providence. 21-14. Little fingernail action there at the net produces the kill. And Shaver with 12 kills. And back to serve, Jess Eichenlaub. She drops it in on Meawad, handled perfectly. Out to Flint, bounces it off the net, gives the back row a chance. Tina William at the net, pushes it back to the outside, off the block and down for Paula Luro. 22-14. That setter, Marconi, just moving that ball around so well. And Marconi on the year averaging 11 assists per set. And Marconi will go back to serve. Park 3 points away. Shaver with a perfect pass. The quick. Somehow stabbed into the air by Monteiro. Up to Flint. Cross court. That's on the floor. Flint gets the kill. 23-14. Everything working right now for the Pirates. And Margherita Marconi goes back to work. I don't think Coach Duda will call another timeout on this one. Just let the gals play through it here and save it for the fourth set. That's long. 23-15. Marconi with a service error. Finberg Roberts back to serve for the Lady Argos. She will set up deep off the right corner, take it cross court. Flint has the perfect pass to Marconi. To the middle, tipped over by Luro, covered. Sasha Legros to the outside. Marconi with a dig. A bump set by Noura Meawad all the way back to Providence. Back row attack for Dyers on the floor. She punishes Marconi with that one as Marconi has to try to make a play from waist level, and it goes straight down instead of back to a teammate. 23-16. Finberg Roberts back to serve for Providence. From the right corner, Monteiro, Marconi. Big swing on the front row from Silva. Pushed over, covered by Marconi, all the way back. Marconi with another point-blank recovery on a Kelsey Shaver smash. Legros, Finberg Roberts, cross court. There's Marconi again. Don't hit it to her. And Flint gets blocked back. Legros, Finberg Roberts, outside Shaver. That's down finally. Boy, did the Lady Argos work for that one. They saw some terrific defense from the Pirates. And finally, Kelsey Shaver cleans it up, 23-17. Timeout Park. Back in a moment. Well, Providence making some noise here at the end of this third set. And even if they don't pull this out, perhaps they're building a little bank of momentum here to carry to the fourth set. We'll see what happens. It's been a very interesting match so far. As an announcer here, I've done 2 5-set matches, 1 4-set match, so nothing has been easy for any of the matches I've called as far as the teams out there. Finberg-Roberts out of the timeout. Flint has the pass. The set to Silva. Legros on the dig. Duel at the net. Covered. Tina Williams pushes it over. Tight to the net. Marconi with another play. A high pass over to Providence. The quick to Tina Williams. It's down. Good choice for Finberg-Roberts as she went to that quick to the middle. And it's 23 to 18. Tina Williams didn't start this one, but she is starting to make some noise. Flint to Marconi, tipped over, knocked back by Tina Williams, a chase for Noura Meawad, a push for the corner, covered at the net. Loro kind of patrolling things out to Shaver, and she missed it, no touch. And that's set point coming up for Park. Perfectly positioned defense for the Pirates. And the Pirates will go back to serve. Elena Hensley will load it up. Hensley deep to Legros. Set point for Park. Tip behind the block to the corner. Stabbed into the air. That's going to be a kill. Providence scores it. 24 to 19. And Kelsey Shaver will try to help her team fight off another set point from the service line. Sets up on the deep left side as you're facing the court from camera angle. Flint, Noura Meawad, a miss, 24-20. Meawad rarely gets cheated on her swings. Good, bad, or indifferent, she's going to take the big swing. And we have not seen her sister, Noura, for a while, and she's in the game. And she will replace Hensley. So Providence has pulled to 20. They're 4 points down, trying to fight off another set point. Flint, the quick to the middle, that's it. Paula Luro finishes it up. And Park wins their second set in a row. This one 25 to 20 over Providence. And Providence needs this next one, or their second day of pool play will end in a loss to last year's defending national championship team. And that is something they were successful in doing to start out this match in the opening set. They played well throughout, but now it's time to score and get the win. We're back in a moment. And checking out some of the leaders so far, 16 kills for Noura Meawad, 7 for Alissa Flint for Providence, 6 for Maren Roper for Providence, 15 for Kelsey Shaver. Looking at the errors, that's not the number you want to see. Shaver hitting 167. Dyer with 11 kills, hitting 233. Defensively, 22 digs for Sasha Legros. Got to check Monteiro's number. She has been getting everything back to the setter. And let's see, Monteiro also with a good defensive effort. 18 digs so far in this one. And through the first 3 sets, Providence hitting 176 and Park 238 on the season. Providence hit 187 and 229 for Park on the season. So let's go with set number 4. You're watching the NAIA television network and coverage of the National Championship Volleyball Tournament live from Sioux City. Dyer starts things out back to Monteiro. Perfect pass up to Marconi. The left-handed swing misses from Lorrayne Silva. And Providence takes the 1-0 lead. Avery Dyer trying to find the device they're all playing for, the volleyball. Dyer gets it, middle of the floor, deep ball. Pass perfectly to Marconi, up to Noura Meawad, another miss, 2-0. Little wildness to start out the 4th set. And Providence has no problem with some cheap points when you're trying to pull the upset against last year's national champion. Dyer sends it to the back line. Handled perfectly, tipped over the block, push at the net, a duel, and they call a net violation on Providence. And Park is on the board as Celina Monteiro goes back to serve. 5'8" senior. Monteiro loads up the four-stepper, sends it back to Shaver. Shaver gets the load. She explodes into it, hits the sideline perfectly. Precision kill there for Kelsey Shaver. 3-1 Providence to open up the fourth set. And Tina William in the game for Providence. Pretty good blocker, and we didn't see her early on. Now she has come on with a vengeance late in this one. Sasha Legros shoots it to the back line. Noura Meawad, and a huge swing in the middle. So Roper finds the floor. And let's check on Roper. She seems like she's been part of a lot of good things for her team. And Roper has 6 kills, hitting .278. And back to serve, Amanda Mendez. It's 3-2 Providence. Dyer pops it up perfectly. They run a play. Shaver gets dug out on the back line. Out to Noura Meawad. Blocked back on the front row. And that's off the block, out of bounds for the tie. A kill for Park. 3-3 in the third set. Fourth set, rather. And Mendez back to serve again. Legros on target to Finberg Roberts, and Tina William jams it through the block of Roper for the kill. And the lead, 4-3. Passing in this match has been pinpoint on the serves. I'll tell you, there's been some really good passing on both teams on what looks like some pretty difficult serves. Silva knocked back by the block. The set goes to the backside to Jensen Turner, saved with a run by Noura Meawad. And Park will live to play another point until Tina Williams cleans it up for the 2-point lead. Finberg Roberts is working the middle, and Tina Williams is waiting. It's kind of like that relief pitcher that comes in late in the game to shut down the big-time hitters. Well, this is a relief hitter, a pinch hitter that's come in and really done a good job. To the outside to Shaver, and that's on the floor. A 3-point lead for Providence as Kelsey pulls out another one of her tantalizing tips just over the block, and Mike Telemontes has seen enough. He wants a timeout. Providence has opened up the fourth set with a 6-3 lead, and we're back in a moment. 16 kills for Noura Meawad leads the way for Park. 17 for Kelsey Shaver leads the way for Providence. 15 digs for Shaver, 10 for Meawad. 14 digs for Marconi, and that's a lot of digs for the setter. She's been doing it all over the court for her team. Boy, and that pass to the setter off the serve is such an important part of volleyball. And when you see it on the money, 3 options for the setter, you've heard that. If you have 3 options for the setter to go to the middle or back or front, that just makes the game so much more effective on the good passing, and it all starts with a good pass. Tipped into the block, Tina Williams slows it down, right back to Park. Back row attack for Park. A bump set for Legros to Shaver. Shaver blocked back and covered with a run by Avery Dyer. To the outside to Noura Meawad. Williams stabs it into the air, keeps it alive. Pushed to the backside, covered, back to Noura Meawad, blocked out of bounds for the point for Park. Meawad with 17 now. The reload to Noura Meawad works for the Pirates. 6-4. Here's Noura Meawad on the serve. Shaver, perfect pass again to Jensen Turner. Covered this time by Park. Shaver tries the corner. Right there is Mendez. Cross-court swing by Roper, covered. Out to Jensen Turner. Beautiful cover on the back line on a smash. Noura Meawad is covered. Back row attack for Avery Dyer. Stabbed around, but it ends up back on Providence's side. Here's Shaver, cross-court, Monteiro with a dig. A long rally. Back row attack for Meawad, finds the crease. She split the defense of Legros and Avery Dyer, and it's a 1-point game. And Meawad takes the lead in the match in kills at 18. Meawad back to serve. Dyer on target with the pass. There's William, tight to the net. And a hit behind over the block falls on the back line for Roper. And we're tied up at 6. Unlikely for that to fall because Roper was kind of leaning back, but she took just enough off of it to land inside the back line. 6-6, Providence and Park. Tina Williams' turn to tie her shoe. And Noura Meawad back to serve. Shaver on target to Finberg Roberts. Shaver unloads. Block back. Stuffer by Marconi. What else does she do? She drive the bus on the way back to Park? Who knows? She's been doing it all for her team today. And that stuff block gives Park the lead 7-6. And Noura Meawad loads it up at serve. Shaver gets the setback. That's down the line. Monteiro stands up to that, and the push is over to the floor and give the kill to Flint. Perfectly placed kill, and that prompts the timeout from Arunas Duda. Providence had the lead. Now they see Park come back and take the 2-point lead at 8-6, and we're back in a moment. 18 kills, 11 digs now for Noura Meawad, and 17 and 15 dig-wise for Kelsey Shaver. We check in on the two leaders for their teams. Meawad is back at the service line now. Legro steers it to Roberts. Back to Tina Williams. This time she doesn't get it done. To Flint. Is there a touch? No, it didn't matter. She got the back line and a touch, and that doesn't count for 2. 9-6. So Flint steps up when Noura Meawad is on the back line serving. 9-6 Park. They're trying to pull away and cement this big win on the second day of pool play. Tipped over the block. Another Kelsey Shaver tip scores. 9-7. She picks her time on those, and she has been very successful on the tip. And now Shaver goes back to serve for the Lady Argos. Park looking for their 30th win on the year. Marconi outside to Flint, covered by Legros to the backside to Jensen. Turner off the block and down. Flint got there a little bit late on the block and didn't close it. And a side out for Providence. It's 9-8. Providence within 1. And a little bit of scorebook checking there. Now a conference between the captains as Shaver goes over and talks to the up ref. Might be a warning or something like that, or just telling her what's going on. So Providence will try to tie it up behind the serve of Kelsey Shaver. Shaver cross court. Monteiro tight to the net. Push at the net. Point Park as that push ends up touching Providence last and sailing out of bounds. 10-8. Side out for Providence, or for Park. Penyak back to serve for the Pirates. Kasha puts it in play to Kelsey Shaver. The set to the backside to Turner. Another kill for Turner. She bombs that off the outside block, and they're picking on Flint right now, and she's going to step off the line as substitutions come in. Eichenlaw back to serve for the Argos, back to a 1-point game. Providence trying to get on top in this one and force a 5th set. Eichenlaw shoots it back to Noura Meawad. Blocked at the net by Turner, but covered by the Pirates. Free ball. Who does Finberg Roberts go to? How about Jensen Turner? And she misses by a foot. Real good look there for Jensen Turner. Just went a little bit long. And Tina Williams will come in again for the Lady Argos. And Park back up by 2 as Marconi goes back to serve. Boy, there are some really good players in this tournament, as you'd expect, the national championship level, but put Marconi on that list as a setter. Back to Dyer. To the backside, a slide set, tip over the block. This time Monteiro reads it to the outside. And through the block and down, Park Pirates point at the hand of Lorrayne Silva. 3-point lead for Park. Marconi back to work at serve. Well, if you're the next team playing Park, you got to say, I wonder what we're going to do on this one. Flop off the net. Providence covers it out to Dyer. High bounce off the block. And how did that end up going toward the net? And that drifts over the net with a final touch of the tape. And it falls on the Providence side. That was a freak play that went the wrong way for the Lady Argos. A scramble play on the back line on a smash from Providence ends up going right to the center for Park. Kelsey Shaver chases Finberg Roberts out to Avery Dyer. Another well-aimed pass off a tough serve. Here's Shaver into the back corner. Monteiro sweeps it into the air. Back row attack for Noura Meawad. Covered by Finberg Roberts. They're going to load up Jensen Turner for the tip. Monteiro steps in, makes the play. Tipped over the block by Luro, covered by Providence. Back out to Turner. Reach, and it's done by Noura Meawad. And finally, Providence scores on a good attack. 13-10. The farther this match has gone, the tighter the defense has become for Park. They've sewn up any kind of a leakage that they had early that was working for Providence, and Providence is really having to work to get the ball down now. Jensen Turner back to serve. Little adjustments on the defense based on the tendencies. A last gas tipped over. Dyer gets the squirrel off the block, covered again by Park. Turner to Finberg Roberts. She surprises him with a tip. A dump shot, more of a slam for Finberg Roberts. Gets the side out for Providence. Providence totally in it yet. They're only down by 2, but the defenses, especially for Park, have been so airtight that you got to work 2 or 3 times harder just to get the kill down. Mike Telemontes wants the timeout. It's 13-11 Park. They're up 2-1. We're back in a moment. 7 straight national championship appearances for the Park Pirates. And that's a streak that they're hoping to take through to the finish line this year. They defeated Columbia last year in the championship game in a really tight match and walked away the champions. And they are thinking they can do it again this year. Jensen Turner back to serve. Providence down by 2, 13-11. Pass is on target. Here's the push with the left hand from Silva, covered by Providence, all the way back to the Pirates, to the outside, pushed over by the Pirates. From the center of the floor, Cameron Davis moving around. Finberg Roberts to the outside to Dyer. The tip pancaked into the air with a dive by Silva. Providence on the attack again. Back to Dyer. This time she blasts it. Monteiro cleans it up. Roper on the swing. And that's knocked back. That'll be Providence point. They got the tape on that one. And it's a 1-point game. And back to serve for the Lady Argos, Jensen Turner. Providence trying to tie. They've given up 2 straight sets to the Pirates. Back row attack for Noura Meawad. Legros saw it coming with a perfect pass. The tip is wide open for the tie. Finberg Roberts with a seeing eye tip, and Monteiro is on the ground for the Pirates, and she is surrounded by concerned players, and here comes the towel as they try to clean up another wet spot. You know, it's not raining here, so that can't be the reason. It's just humidity in the building and some body humidity. But on the scoreboard, a 13-13, and Monteiro gets up, walks it off. Boy, that would have been a huge loss for Park if Monteiro hadn't gotten to her feet there. 14-time Defensive Player of the Week in her conference. Jensen Turner back to serve. Trying to get Providence into the lead. Marconi to the outside. Noura Meawad gets covered. Out to Dyer. High bounce off the block, and Providence has the 14-13 lead. High hands for Dyer. And it sails over the head of the back row defense. That's the way to do it, I guess, because they get to everything else. If you're a Park Pirate defender, you are really good. Jensen Turner back to serve with a 1-point lead. Floats it back to Monteiro. Marconi to the backside. Cross court. Flint gets it down for the tie. And Alissa Flint comes back with the tying kill at 14. 19 kills now for Noura Meawad, 18 for Shaver. Dyer has 12. Number 12 back to serve, Lorrayne Silva. Silva into the corner. Boy, they're working that towel. Everyone needing towel to wipe off moisture and prevent an injury and keep the hands dry. Shaver, perfect to Finberg Roberts. They load up Dyer, cross court. Monteiro with another dig. To the outside to Noura Meawad for the miss. And Providence leads 15-14. Providence fighting to tie it up at 2 sets apiece. Avery Dyer back to serve. Dyer, middle of the court, launches from a stationary position. On the back line, Flint makes the play. Meawad makes the kill for the tie at 15. 20 kills in this 4-set match so far for Noura Meawad. Monteiro back to serve for the Pirates. She'll load up the serve, take it back to Legros. A bump set by Finberg Roberts to Shaver. She tries the line and she tapped the aerial, and the lead back to Park. Boy, from the angle that ball went, it really hooked into that aerial. I saw the movement, so it happened, but I'm right behind the hitter, Shaver, and sure didn't look like that had a chance to catch aerial. All the way back on the overpass, put away on the front row by Roper. And the lead is suddenly back to 2, and here comes the towel again. I think they built the Gateway Arena on top of a lake here. And it's coming through today, and these gals are thinking about it. You better believe it, because when you're going back and forth and reacting very quickly to all these well-hit balls, you are relying on the floor to be very solid. And if it's not, it gets in your head. Here's Monteiro again to try to push some points and get the lead back to a comfortable margin for Park. There's Shaver, and she's stuffed. Right there, Roper. And what a match Roper is having. She has been solid at the net, and on the attack, she has 9 kills. And the lead is back to 3 for Park. Trying to avoid going to a 5th set when anything can happen. Stabbed into the air by the Lady Argos. Shaver gets blocked at the net. There's Roper again. She got a hand on it and knocked it back to where Finberg Roberts on the flyby couldn't steer it back to the floor. And the lead is 4, 19-15 for Park. They lead 2 sets to 1. We're back in a moment. Well, 4 straight for Park, and suddenly their lead is comfortable again as Providence had the lead 15-14, and Park has come right back with make it 5 straight. And they are closing in on the finish line here unless Providence can change that direction of this one. Herm Ellenboss in Sioux City, so glad to have you along on the NAIA television network. And Celina Monteiro waits to serve. No matter what happens, you got to really appreciate the effort of both of these teams. And, in the underdog role, Providence has come to play. Schwent shoots it to the back line, covered with a run by Noura. Stabbed into the air by Schwent, but nobody covers. And it's 20-15. Park 5 points away from win number 30 on the year. Number 1 in the Massey Power Ratings, number 1 in the top 25, and trying to keep that ranking solid here today. Avery Dyer passes to Finberg Roberts, out to Kelsey Shaver. A deflection still covered by Marconi. A twister. Big blast for Silva. That's not going to be covered by Providence. Boy, you cannot cheat on any hitter for Park. If you're playing defense, you got to play straight up because there's several players that can bring it in every rotation. 21-15. This one getting away from Providence here in the fourth set after an inspiring tie and even a lead. Monteiro back to Legros. The slide set to Schwent. That misses 22-15. I don't know how that didn't get a touch there. She went through a double block, and they must have had it perfectly placed to avoid the touch on that one. Monteiro back to serve, trying to take Park 1 point closer. Avery Dyer has the on-target pass, and that's a swing and a stuff block for Park. They're at 23. Addison Burns got good wood on it, but it did not get through that block, and Shaver back into the game. And 12 kills for Dyer, 21 for Meawad. Here's Monteiro trying to wrap it up here. Finberg Roberts out to Shaver. That's going to be down. Finally, Shaver gets some clean wood on that one, and the incredible defense from Park does not stop that one. That's a rare thing. And Tina William in the game for Providence. 23-16. And Finberg Roberts will go back to serve. Actually, Legros stabbed into the air by Meawad. Off the block. Providence covers it. Tina William chips that one off the block. To the middle. Roper gets dug out for once to Shaver, cross court, stabbed into the air by Noura Meawad. Noura Meawad gets it back. There's a dig for Providence. Back to Shaver. She reaches back. Another dig for Park. Hard to get anything down, and Noura Meawad having the same problem as Providence shutting her down. Where's Shaver going to try this time? Monteiro takes a tipped ball, and there's Meawad for kill number 22. And that takes Park to set point. Match point, 24-16. And trying to take it home will be Amanda Mendez. Mendez on the far right corner. Takes it cross court to Legros. Finberg Roberts, back row attack. Avery Dyer, another great pass on a smash. Roper into the block, saved with a reach by Shaver. Push to the backside. Park will go to the attack, and a miss on the part of Marconi. That may be the first time I've seen her make a mistake today. She tips it right into the bottom of the net. And that's the one play she's going to remember. You know, good players, they remember their mistakes more than their excellence. 24-17. And back to serve Finberg Roberts. Providence fought off the first set point, match point. And Noura Meawad blasts it, dug out. Here's Shaver. Shaver shoots for the back line. The defense is there. Back to Noura Meawad. She goes to the tip, and it's on the floor for the win. 24-17 in the fourth, 25-17 in the fourth set. Park wins number 30 on the year. Congratulations to Park, as they are undefeated in pool play, and they will be moving on to brackets on Friday for sure. As the two teams meet at the net, let's wrap this up with our final numbers. In that last set, Providence hit 085, 8 errors, 12 makes. And for Park, 239. They had a 317 in the third set, came back with 239 in the fourth set, 16 of 46. And the final numbers are going to be taken away from me, I believe, by whoever decides on that. Nope, here we go. So on the night or afternoon, 22 kills for Noura Meawad. She hit 262. Alissa Flint had 9 out of 27, 259. Mendez did not get in the scorebook. 10 for Maren Roper. And she hit 333. She was a huge part of this win here today for Park.